hopefully you guys like the format. We thought it was kind of a neat way to get a quick tool, get up and move, experience that, so we'll get to do it all over again. So starting round 2 here, we have from Oklahoma, Andy Schrader.
All right, so first of all, awesome job to the first round's presenters. Don't take the time. All right, so you guys want the good news or the bad news first? Okay, good. I was hoping you were going to say that because my slide starts with the bad news. And the bad news is, I'm not sure if you know this or not, Google Apps for Education, like the Google Docs that you knew, Google Slides, Google Sites, Google Forms, Google has announced that there is going to be a death to Google Apps for Education.
A what?
A death, like their end of life for Google Apps for Education. But, just like a phoenix rises from the ashes, so does G Suite rise from the ashes of Google Apps for Education. So it's kind of like Google Apps on steroids, and it is what you have been dreaming for out of Google. So if you were thinking there is something that has been missing from Google Docs, or something that's missing from Google Sites, it is now starting to be pumped up, and it is going to be new and something that you're really going to enjoy. So let me just show you a couple of things that, at 4 minutes is not enough to show you everything that it has to offer, but a couple of things. Google Docs. Before in Google Docs, what you could do is you could highlight an item, you could click on the comment tool, you could comment on the item, you could have a discussion on the side about a particular item. Now what you can do is you can assign tasks to these items. I think this is just a phenomenal idea. Thinking about group work in a class. Students can assign to each other. Teachers can assign tasks. All you do is put a little plus sign, start typing in their name, they get an email notification, they can check off tasks as they go, and they see little comments from the teacher or from their classmates. Another thing that you can do, this is something that I hated in Google Docs before, is that you could not put columns in.
Yes.
You can now do columns in Google Docs. You can put 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, and more. It is so beautiful. Another thing, moving on, is Explore. Explore, who in here has used Research before? Okay, Research within Google Docs, if you don't know what it was where you could highlight something, you could do a search right within the doc, and you could search the internet for pictures, you could search the internet for websites, for related articles. Now it is Explore, and it does even more. It does a smart search within your document about the most used items that you're using. It will also, I know it's blurry, but you can search your drive for related items. So let's say I'm talking about a field trip, I have some notes on a field trip, I could click on Drive and all of my field trip items would pop up. In Sheets, you can also use Explore. You do not even have to be good at Sheets to make it look beautiful. You take a look at this, you can click on the formatting, look at that, it looks like you put hours of work into it. You can grab a graph within your sheet, it will automatically make graphs and charts, and you can pull them into your sheet. You can pull them into your Google Docs, and they automatically transfer the information into Google Docs as you make changes in Sheets. Another thing, Google Forms. In the past, you could make a form into an assessment, and it could automatically grade it with an add-on called Flugaroo. Now what Google Forms did is it vamped it up. You can click on quizzes, and you can automatically turn a form into an assessment, and it will grade it for you. A huge time saver for teachers. It is an awesome tool that Google has used. You can check on which items are the correct responses. And then another thing in Forms is you can add images to both the questions, and you can add images as options for your answers. And then the last thing is Google Sites. If you've ever used the old Google Sites, it was very difficult to use. I could use Google Sites, I have used Google Sites with elementary students. It is so easy to use, it's so simple. Oh man, I almost stopped. Got it. It's wonderful, beautiful, so come and learn more about Google, the new Google Suite Life.
Awesome job, Andy. All right, on to tool number 7. Raquel, you ready?
Oh, it is me.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Raquel Rand from Green Bay Public Schools.
Okay. Hello. Hi. Okay, it's Mandy. I feel like really putting me laughter here. Okay, I'm going to talk about Weave Video. Weave Video is a powerful and easy to use cloud-based collaborative video editor. I mean, that sums it all up, and I love using that as my tagline when I talk about video. It is really powerful, it is really easy to use, it is web-based, and it is collaborative. There are so many video editors that are not collaborative, so I'm a big fan of video. You can log in across platforms. The Green Bay School District has a paid version. There are free versions, but you are limited on time. The more money you spend, the more time you can publish. Surprising. This picture over here shows that I am within a project and I can have members, different members, working on the same one. I'm a big fan of iMovie. Dave is a big fan of another, I can't remember what it's called, another movie editing program. But for the two of us to work together to create our news shows for our school every week, it was really hard for us to try and collaborate on different programs, different platforms, different spots. When I'm working on one time, he's working on another. So we have combined and worked together in the video, and it really makes it life simple because we can each work on the same video edit at the same, not simultaneously, but we can both be in the same one at different times, and we don't have to be in the same room. So when I get sick of talking to him, I can not see him. I've used this with first graders and second graders. There is a storyboard, simplified version. It keeps it very basic, and it makes it simple for students to edit their words and bring in their pictures and do all the fun stuff. And then it can get very complex. And you can do so many different video layers. You can have multiple video lines going on, so you can have picture and picture and picture and picture and picture if you really wanted. You can also add in your audio. They have a couple of different free things that are in there. You can bring in other pieces. I use the record feature and the voiceover feature. I've used it on Chromebooks, I've used it on other laptops. It's really, really simple to have the students record themselves, and they love recording themselves and then or doing the voiceover and talking about different things that they were doing. So we did, they had to research a location, and they got to talk about it over their pictures. And they were like, this is so cool. You could see their pictures as they did it. And then they got to share out with each other. One of the best things that the students love doing is a green screen. Everyone's all about the green screen effect. For a web-based program that we have, it really does green screen really well. I mean, your other programs are going to do a little bit better, but they do a really nice job of it. It's very simple for students to edit it as well. And they can bring their different backgrounds and upload anything they want in there. Last thing I've got for it is the different destinations. One thing that's really nice is it has a Wii video account, but you can download it just basically from there, but you can also share it out directly to YouTube, directly to your Google Drive, or to your OneCloud account, and it makes it easy for sharing and going back and forth, and then it does have a couple different qualities. And that's mine.
Ready?
Sure.
All right. Awesome. We're already on tool number 8 from us up here. Drotsky. I always do that wrong. I know.
Yeah. All Polish there.
Sorry, man. You're ready whenever.
Okay. All right. Good evening. I'm going to try to condense my hour VR presentation into 4 minutes. My name is Drotsky. I'm from West Superior, and I love virtual reality. If you haven't had any experience with virtual reality, basically it's near reality. If you put on some of these headsets, sometimes you get lost and forget where you are. Most of you probably remember this awesome tool back in the 80s. I don't know. You put that thing up to your face and it transports you to a whole nother place, right? Well, technology has improved just a little bit since then, and fortunately, there are lots of different price points to make this work within your school or your classroom. Lots of different reasons for you to consider using virtual reality. You really do get to transport your students for free-ish all around the world to different places to expose them to different things. In a digital world where we're very focused on our phones or one-to-one devices, I feel like virtual reality is the answer to helping our students develop empathy for different communities and cultures.
And most importantly, I think opening with virtual reality in some of these situations helps to grab kids' interest and promotes curiosity and wonder about your subject areas. So I'm going to share a couple different ways for you to use virtual reality in your classroom. Last June, Google Expeditions came out during ISTE. There are over 500 expeditions right now. Control F comes in really handy when you're looking at that doc to search through all the different things that you can do. With my first graders, I've done habitats for animals and exposed them to the actual habitat. How many first graders have really gone swimming with sharks? Ours have. Ours are cooler than yours right now. Fourth grade, immigration, right? I just did it this week. I'm actually taking the fourth graders through Ellis Island and having them really think about their ancestors walking through there with everything they own, coming off of a boat really stinky with no showers and trying to get through and into this country. Sixth graders have walked on the moon. Our high school teachers have used it with tons of their content. So love Google Expeditions. Student-led 360 images and videos. There are a ton of different apps that you can use for this. Google Street Maps, Google Street View and Maps is a great one. One of my favorite apps is the New York Times VR. I had one of my high school language arts teachers bawling her eyes out because they actually make the news stories in 360. So there's one about a child in Mexico who was shot across the border. This is Fighting for Fallujah, where you can actually sit with our soldiers in the Middle East and experience what that's like to start some really amazing conversations with your kids. Content creation for VR, Jamie mentioned tomorrow we're headed out to Fallen Timbers. Buses are expensive, field trips are expensive, so we're going to go there, do some virtual reality experiences for our kids to bring back so that they can go to Fallen Timbers without leaving the classroom. And then we have high-end VR options that are a lot more money, but wow, pretty cool. Like Google Daydream, and at our school we have the HTC Vive. So this year with our art club, my fifth graders are going to be stepping into the HTC Vive to actually make art. We're using the book from Kevin Henkes, My Garden, and they're going to actually recreate his illustrations and allow other people to step into their artwork. So I have tons of resources for you that Jamie will share with you in the doc that have apps, different devices that you can use at different price points if you're interested in getting started. And I also have the expedition stuff here with me. So if you're looking at trying it, those teacher-led expeditions are asking me any questions about VR. I'm officially obsessed and would love to help. Have a great night.
That was virtually amazing. All right. All right, next up, tool number 9. It's from Seymour Community School District. All
right. So I'm here to talk to you about the Spiros and the Spiro Sparks, and especially the Lightning Lab, which is a super awesome website. You can get it as an app on your device, but it gives you tons of resources and lesson plans on how you can use Spiro Sparks with your students. For example, in March, Pi Day, and Spiro actually has a relationship with Pi. And here's how it works. If you measure, and I brought some measuring tapes today, if you measure Spiro and find out what his circumference is, find out, oops, oh, I'm skipping a lot of things here, hang on. And find out what his circumference is, you can, and his diameter, you can actually find out his relationship to pi. So I'm going to let you come and try that out. In the room, I have several of them available, and you can measure the Spiro. Let's see if we can actually get him to work right now, because he was up and running. Other things that they have in the Lightning Lab, they've got activities, they have programs, you can do block coding with your students. I've been having my 7th and 8th graders doing block coding with the Spiros. You can assign classes. You can create a class within your Lightning Lab and assign activities that you want the students to complete. You can create your own activities, or you can drive them. So, like the Spiro Pi activity, it's ideal for grades 3 through 8. I am going to be doing it with my high school class next month. You can adapt it so you can take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, but the idea is to prove Spiro's connection to pi. Let's see if we can drive him. See if he wakes up here real quick, because I do have a couple minutes. And show us that he's up and running. You can use other apps with him. You can go ahead and you can use, there's an app called Tickle, which has a little picture of like a Shamu type of a orca whale on it, and you can do block coding with Tickle. You can just drive him. There's different challenge activities if you want to get the Sphero app. Right now I'm just driving him around. This, his name is Billy Joel, by the way. So I can, and the kids love to change their colors. I'll hold him up a little bit so you can see. So I can change his color. I'm good at catching. You can change his color so that the kids like to recognize him and they know whose is whose. I actually have like 12 of them, and I'll have kids pair up, and then they'll do different activities. A really fun game to play with them is doing the Twister with them. So you can do Twister, have fun with them. Again, lots of different games. You can give them roller coaster games. I also have seen them where you can put them in the water and give the students a challenge. They have to sit in a boat, and the kids have to figure out how they're going to get the boat to move around in the tub of water. So you have to figure out how to program your little Sphero to do that. So come and see me, and I've got iPads, I have Spheros. You can check them out and give them a try. And if you want to try that little math pie, you can give that a try as well. So thanks.
Here, almost done for our last one. So,
Hi.
here is Carrie Will from Superior.
I'm Carrie Ewell. I teach Spanish at Superior High School. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about PictoChart. So PictoChart is a free online site where you can create infographics or posters or any kind of like graphic content that you want to. I used it with my Spanish 5 students to do some infographics. We'll look at a few examples. I highlighted here some of the things I think are really good about PictoChart. It's free, it's intuitive. I looked at a lot of different possibilities for creating infographics, and we did some in Google Drawings, which took the kids a little bit more time, and it was a bit more of a learning curve. What I liked better about PictoChart is that it was easy for the kids to use, and they created a really, I think, professional-looking product in the end. I did have them turn in their finished product via Google Forms, so they took the URL and handed it in via a form, and then I could take those submissions, and it automatically generates a Google site with thumbnails. So the kids could look at each other's work right away, I mean within 5 minutes of them handing it in, which was really cool. Let's see here. So this is what PictoChart looks like once you get signed in. You can sign in with Google, so for our high school students, since we're a Google school, they have access to it right away. On the side you can see there's graphics, and you can upload your own pictures, you can choose different backgrounds, and then they've got things kind of divided into groups so students can add different elements, and they can search those elements in little categories. There'd be like garden things or people or whatever. Here are some examples of the work that my students created using PictoChart. So we studied El Salvador and the Civil War in El Salvador, watched a few movies, read a novel, and then they chose some theme related to that unit and did research. And instead of handing in a really long research paper that only I get to read, they created infographics to explain their topic. So one's about the educational crisis in El Salvador, one about graffiti and how it's evolved over the years, and the other one comparing the Civil War in the United States with the Civil War in El Salvador. And then the students took time to look at those and learned quite a bit more than they would have, handing in research papers to me, and then I'm the only person who reads them, and it takes me forever. This was a lot easier. And actually then I used Kaizen to give them voice feedback in Google Classroom, and it was a lot faster to grade too. So all sorts of good things. I'm done now.
Awesome. All right, so let's take a second and give all 10 presenters a round of applause. I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. We're not done yet, we'll break out again. But it's awesome to give up this kind of time, and hopefully this is valuable for you. We do want to make this an annual event, so the best way to do that is to get feedback from you guys. This is here. It's on the Tundra Slam website. There's also a sign in the hallway on your way out, so you don't feel like you have to do this right now. But there's a shortened URL, there's a QR code. But again, we take your feedback seriously because we definitely want to continue this event. And we actually changed, last year we did all 10 presenters at once and then broke out. And we found out that got a little long, so we changed and hopefully you like the new format. But again, we'll take your feedback and go with it.
Let's take a second to thank Jamie for coordinating.
So with that, we'll go to the breakout room, eat some cake if you didn't already, and we'll continue to collaborate. Yeah, presenters, after we're done the breakout, we're going to meet here for a picture at the end. So we'll do that after that. So the second session presenters, if you want to sneak out right now and set up, you can. You might want to go up this side.